Hello, otherworldlies. This is Queen Juliana, your dark mask diva. So, how's everyone doing today? So, today I was at school, and this guy just walked in after class, and he wasn't one of the students. He was one of the patients, and I was just sitting there, and I was wearing one of my usual, colorful outfits. One of my interesting outfits. And he came in and he started staring at me. Now, it was one of those stares where people are admiring you. And I realized that's why he was staring at me. But it was just that he was staring at me, and I'm not exaggerating. He stared at me for 10 minutes straight, just like. It made me really uncomfortable. Okay, I get it, when people are admiring you, they don't realize what they're doing, and they just stand there and they stare at you. Alright, I like compliments, I like people smiling at me, I like people saying, you have a cool outfit on. But this guy literally just stood there and stared at me for 10 minutes straight. It made me extremely uncomfortable. If somebody likes what I'm wearing or something, I wish they would just come out and say, I like that cool color you put in your hair, I like your outfit, whatever. It took him a long time to come out and tell me why he was staring at me. Once he did, he told me all the reasons he was staring at me, and that was fine and everything. But then it became this element where he was trying to flirt with me, and I did not like that. Obviously, I didn't like it, because he creeped me out by staring at me for a long time, and obviously I'm also in a relationship, so I don't want somebody else trying to flirt with me. I mean, it's inappropriate. But it's just, he stared at me for such a long time. People don't like, and when I say people, it's generally women. Okay, women generally don't stare at men for a really long time. I'm just going to let you know that. So I'm going to say this is a situation where men are staring at women for a prolonged period of time. Guys, don't ever do that. Don't ever do that. We understand that you're admiring us physically. Okay, and we like to look beautiful. Okay, we like to look interesting, but staring at us for a prolonged period, even if you know we're admiring us, it still makes us really uncomfortable. If you don't state the reason you're doing it, because you're acting weird. Okay, it's just creepy. Because your conduct is inappropriate. Okay, so here's something that you should not do. And I did the thing you should not do. I just sat there and looked at him because I just kept staring at him back are you going to stop staring at me? And I just kept staring at him you going to stop staring at me now? And I just kept looking at him really? You're still staring at me? You're still looking at me? Are you serious? You're still going to look at me? Because I'm kind of confrontational. I'm extroverted. I'm are you really still looking at me? Are you playing right now? And so I just kept staring back at him are you still looking at me? Just wow, really? What I should have done is kind of looked away or looked at my phone or got up and walked away to show him it wasn't okay. That's what I should have done. Okay, and some people will say I should have said something. Okay, I disagree with that. I should not have said something. I shouldn't have done what I did. But I also shouldn't have said something. Some people said I should have done a gross habit. No, because I'm a lady. I don't do gross habits, okay? I should have just gotten up and left the room or something like that, okay? I should have not had to say something. I should have just left. It's not like I should have had to get a security guard or something like that, but I should have just left the room to kind of break the situation up. and just, let him know that wasn't okay, that I needed to just get up and leave the room. I should have gone outside or something and gone out and talked to somebody I knew, or just kind of, left so he could not stare at me anymore. So other people will tell you, you should say, can you please stop staring at me? You're making me uncomfortable. Okay, so if you do that, you will make the person explain themselves. Okay, you will make them come up and touch you when you do something like that. They'll come up and put their hand on your arm. That will give them an excuse to touch you. So that's why you should not tell them they're making you uncomfortable, because that will give them more excuses to make you even more uncomfortable. Because I've said things to people and then they will do more things to make you uncomfortable. Because I'm going to let you know right now, this is not the majority of people that do things like that, but some people stare at you to make you uncomfortable on purpose. And some people are so socially awkward that when you do something to tell them that they're being socially awkward, they'll do another thing that's even more socially awkward and do something worse, whether they mean to or not. And then the situation will escalate from there. So that's why you don't say something like that, or you will put them on the defense. Okay, so what you want to do when they're staring or doing something like that, you make sure you don't reward the behavior. You get up and you leave. Okay, so what ended up happening was eventually he explained himself. He started talking about Los Angeles. Now, apparently I remind people of Los Angeles. I think I have some look that reminds people of Los Angeles. Echelon took me to Hollywood a couple years ago. So I think since we went there, we kind of picked up on stuff since we went there. I think we kind of we must have picked up on a vibe or a style or something like that. Because, I came back and I must have picked up on the look or something like that, because ever since we got back, it's been a couple of years, but people tell me that I remind them of LA for some reason. We lived in Southern California when I was younger, so I don't know if that's just my roots coming back, or I don't know what that is. But, we haven't lived there in a long time. But people keep saying, you remind me of LA. This guy was not just saying that. I've had a bunch of other people say it to me too. So he started talking about it and explaining himself, why he was staring at me. So I was like, okay, I think you're just trying to flirt with me, but all right. And he just was, he was trying to flirt with me after that. So again, what I should have done was just get up and leave the room. Because I was just trying to smooth over the situation. It was a little awkward. I was like, yeah. And he's like, well, I really like your colorful boots. I like your colorful coat. I like your earrings. I like this. I like that. It's kind of like this retro 80s vibe and blah, blah, blah. And, he was just saying all this stuff. He was trying to pay me compliments and trying to explain himself why he had been staring, which was good. He was trying to explain himself by staring, and he was saying, you remind me of LA, and I used to live there, and all this stuff. I was like, okay, well, now he's explaining why he was staring. But then he just came and stared some more. And then he left and went in the other room, and then he came back and stared at me some more. And I was just kind of like, this guy needs to just stop staring at me. I mean, it's, you don't stare at a woman. It's just, I got up and moved, I went to the restroom, and he eventually had to go. I think, he was called in by the doctor. And just leave a situation if someone is staring at you like that, whether they think you're from LA or, I think it was just an excuse to talk to me personally. But don't Don't ever tell the person they're making you uncomfortable. Just show them what they're doing is not okay. I mean, he seemed harmless, but it's not okay to stare at someone even if you think their style is cool. And just the manner in which he was doing it was just like, I hope I don't run into him again. That was just a little like, yeah. So anyway, you don't tell people what, not to do it. Don't become aggressive. Just get up and walk away. That's what I wish I would have done. Even though he explained the reason he was doing it, he was really, trying to flirt with me, and he still thinks the staring is okay. And unfortunately, I'm going to probably run into him again, because, he goes to the doctor in the same place I go to school, so I'll probably see him again. But yeah, men do not stare at women. We do not find it flattering. We just find it a little disconcerting and makes us uncomfortable. And women, if you're being stared at, just get up and walk away. Don't stare at them back hoping they'll get the hint and stop. They won't, because things are going through their mind. They're too busy fantasizing about you or something like that. I mean, or they're thinking about what they want to say to you. So that's all I have to say about that. And I hope this was helpful. And I hope you all have a beautiful day. And I will see you in the next content.